What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl gossip. Let's get into this commentary. What's poppin', homies? It's your favorite homegirl gossip girl, and today we're gonna talk about Jonathan Welch, 23 years old, of Harper Woods, Michigan. He is charged with murder and the fatal stabbing of his mother. Okay, and she's the third victim in his killing spree. He also killed his ex-girlfriend, Zalayiah Frazier, and his stepfather, Robert Bray Jr., who was 70 years old. Let's get into this. Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy has charged a Harper Woods man in connection to the fatal stabbing of his 42-year-old mother, which happened just days after he was released on bond. Now, he was released on bond. The bond was set for $100,000, right? So his mother had put up the $10,000 for him to get out because you only need like 10% to get out. So his mother put up the $10,000 for him to get out. Now this is what's said in articles that I was reading. Now Jonathan, who's 23 years old, has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of assault with the intent to murder, and 1 count of second-degree arson, and 7 counts of assault and 6 counts of felony firearm. Now, Flossie Bray, who's 42 years old, was in the hospital on July 16th when she succumbed to her injuries she sustained from the attack on July 10th, which he stabbed her multiple times in the back with a butcher's knife. Okay, she was able to get away and go to a neighbor's house to get the police called, but she has succumbed to her injuries. Welch was charged on July 13th in the connection with the homicides of his girlfriend and mother of his 1-year-old child, Zalayiah Frazier, who was only 22 years old, of Roseville, and his stepfather, Robert Bray Jr., who was 70, also of Harper Woods. Now, officials say on July 10th at about 8:14 p.m., Welch went to his mother's home located on Kenosha Street in Harper Woods and stabbed his mother in the back multiple times with a butcher knife, and then killed Frazier and Bray with a blunt force trauma. When the police arrived at the scene, they found the 1-year-old in the backyard of the residence. Thank God the baby was not hurt. Now, in addition to this, police say Welch barricaded himself inside the home. He shot at the officers several times and started a fire inside before stepping into the front doorway. Police arrested Welch, and the Grosse Pointe Woods Fire Department extinguished the fire. He'll be arraigned on the first-degree murder count for Robert Bray Jr. July 20th. So this has already happened, all right? Now, why did this all happen? Let's get into that. So now I'm going to go over to another article where a little bit more information is revealed. Now, he was accused of violently torturing his girlfriend, all right? And he was released on bond. And with days after being released, he murdered her and his stepfather and his mother, okay, and dropped his baby. And now they're saying that he dropped his baby out of a window. I didn't read that before, but like I said, every article is saying something different. They found the baby in the backyard, but this article is saying that he dropped the baby out the window. Now, the police said the string of violence began on June 2nd when 23-year-old Jonathan Welch attacked his girlfriend, Zalayiah Frazier, 22, with whom he shared his house with, okay? Now, Welch reportedly strangled the woman with an extension cord, doused her with gasoline, burned her using a scalding spatula, and sexually assaulted her with a pole. My goodness. My goodness. And they let him out. And they let him out after he done all of this. After he did all of this, they let him out on bond. He should have never had a bond. Never. He'd been initially charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, 3 counts of assault with intent to murder, 1 count of second-degree arson, and like I said before, he was charged with all these counts. Now, Welch appeared in court for a preliminary hearing on the original charges. Now, according to a written statement from Frazier, he woke up the victim at 3 a.m. and began to, sexually assault her while demanding the password to her phone, as he was upset about Frazier possibly talking to someone else and he wanted to see her conversations. So when she refused, he began to torture her while their child lay in the other room. And that was said by a detective in court on Monday, August 22nd, during a preliminary hearing. My thing is this: if he had a feeling that she was talking to someone else, you cannot demand somebody to give you the password. If it got to come to all of that, just be like, you know what? I don't trust you. I think you're fooling around, and just leave. Like, why are you all of this torturing her, doing all types of stuff to her just to get the password? And he still didn't get the damn password. He still didn't get the password. So he goes to jail. He gets out on bond. Okay, the bond was set at $100,000. His mother got him out. And the same person that got him out, he ended up killing. Seriously? Your own mother? Frazier told the police she was periodically allowed to leave the room to help soothe their baby that was upset. The 4-hour attack came to an end when Frazier finally was able to escape and run to a neighbor's house where they protected her and covered her with a blanket. The neighbors called 911 and managed to defend the victim despite Welch fighting back and kicking down their front door. Later that day, he was arrested in jail, but sadly, this was just the beginning of his violent and cruel behavior. Now, prosecutors then say the 36th District Court Magistrate Dawn White set Welch's bond at $100,000, a 10% cash surety. Less than a month later, Welch was able to post that 10%, which was $10,000, and was out of jail on Friday, July 8th. By the following Sunday, Frazier was dead. So, to me, Dawn White, the district court magistrate, let this man out. She set the bond. Maybe she set the bond because maybe she felt like, okay, it's $100,000. Maybe he don't have it. I'm just going with scenarios here. But let me tell you something. She read all of the crimes that he did to this woman. There was no way in hell, if I'm a judge, I'm going to put a bond on him. No, you stay there. Everyone was safer with him in jail than him being out. Because when he got out July 8th, Zalayiah Frazier was gone by July 10th. And so was his stepfather. Now, his mom had died, I think, on the 18th. And his mother was the one that put the money down for him to get out of jail. Wow. Oh, my God. They let him out of jail. He killed my sister. And that was said by Brianna, Zalayiah's sister. Cops responded to Welch's mother's home to discover a bloodbath on the same day. The Michigan man, who was ordered to stay in his 42-year-old mother's home, stabbed his mother multiple times in the back with a butcher's knife, the cops said. Welch's mother, Flossie Nicole Bradley, sadly succumbed to her wounds in the hospital days later. He also killed his stepfather, Robert Bray, 70 years old, with a blunt force trauma. And this is all according to the police. Officials responded to the scene and were greeted with gunfire from Welch, who had barricaded himself inside the home, and he had set it on fire. Now, after amending to arrest him, they discovered that his 1-year-old son was in the backyard, and the child was taken to the local hospital for treatment. Welch faces now 19 counts, including first-degree murder, according to local reports. He is not being held on bond. He faces the possibility of life in prison, and he is set to appear in court. He needs to have life in prison with no possibility of parole. That's what needs to happen. My goodness. My goodness. I just want to send out my condolences and prayers to the family members of Zalayiah Frazier, Flossie Nicole Bray, and Robert Bray Jr. This is horrible. I don't have nothing else to say. This is just horrible. And Zalayiah Frazier, he tortured her. Okay? Got locked up. Dawn White, the magistrate, the district court magistrate, put a $100,000 bond. You only need 10%. So his mother put down the 10% for him to get out. And within days, all three of them were gone. He should have never, ever been released. He should have never been out of jail. All right, you guys. I will talk to you later. And you guys have a great day.